was about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
Very good afternoon to you. Welcome to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Appreciate everyone listening across the Edmonton Sports Talk audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Thank you to those listening on YouTube, or for anyone listening to this on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. I think I have to do the podcast since Hernan's not here. Thank you for confirming that, Coop. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernan Salas. I will be in for Hernan the next 3 shows alongside Joaquin Gage and Zachary Kubish. The Coob, as I now will start doing my best to refer to him as. What do you call him?
What's his name again? No, what do I call you? I call you Zach a lot.
Yeah, you say Zach in the Coob. I don't know. That it kind of goes between that. I don't think you've ever said Zacticum. Like, you've never said the full thing. You just kind of say,
Not
oh,
to
yeah,
you.
Zach.
I've said Zacticum before, I think. But
well, with my 2 ears, I haven't heard
I mean,
it.
what would you like me to call you?
Anything. Don't call me dumb. Don't call me stupid.
I'd never
Even
do
though
that.
I might be. But, well, behind my back, you could. I'd never hear it.
I'd never say something like that. But
okay.
I think because there's a progression of Zach over these 2 years. Or year. Kind of
year and a half almost.
Year and a half, yeah.
It was January last year.
Yeah.
And
well, I've been on Zacticum. Like, as I started the hangout today, I called him Zacticum. And I wrote him on this because to me, it's like I will always point to Robbie the intern. Rick
I
the
know,
temp.
yeah.
Rick the temp has done it for 25 years, whatever it is. So until there was like a good nickname, I always said I'm sticking with Zacticum. And then I realized, like, I feel like I'm the only one that was saying Zacticum.
No, I think it was Zacticum, but he evolved.
Yes.
His little caterpillar got into the chrysalis and became the beautiful butterfly of Ice Cube after his rap rendition.
Ice Cubes, yeah.
And that was
a
like
big turning point.
Not many times can you shed a nickname as quickly as Zach did.
There was that at that time. Also, though, we had the EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show start. And to all of them, like you were around a little bit with 2 guys, but you weren't in the office a lot. Hernan wasn't here. Reed wasn't here. Jay wasn't here all the time. He wasn't an intern. He wasn't a practical.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, you guys, the afternoons were never calling Coob Zacticum.
Right.
It was just the morning. So I feel like Coob, though, has become kind of a thing. So I'm trying to now, I want to work on shedding that as the only one calling him Zacticum and moving on to at least Coob.
Reed has a perfect delivery, though, when he's going to break and there's a little pause and he goes, here's the Coob. And I like that.
Well, Hernan made one, Hawk and Coob, but that hasn't been used very much.
Going back to your Swedish roots.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
On the show today, coming up at 1:40, Dave Drabiuk. He's the Alberta Executive Director, Alberta Basketball Executive Director. It's their 50th gala coming up in January. John Stockton coming to town for that one. So we'll talk to him about that event coming up at 2:40, or 2:20, I should say, from Sports Illustrated. Senior fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano. I used to have him on back, and they used to be with NFL Network as well in the past. He's going to join us to talk some fantasy. We're going to just do a baseline look at fantasy. I know a lot of drafts. Some people did theirs this weekend. Jay came in from doing his draft yesterday. Coob's got a draft this week. My draft is coming up on Sunday. So we will talk some fantasy football with him. We've got Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta, as well as Faces of the Franchise. We'll get to that as well. Speaking of fantasy, I am trying to work on a couple of deals. Today I made the declaration. The Sacramento Gold Miners, we're open for business. And offers have been, or early exchanges have been made.
Really?
To all 3 franchises from the Gold Miners. Birmingham, I don't know. There's a deal to be had with all of them. I got to protect my assets and get the most value for them, but also I'm ready. In 10 seasons, this is season 10, I've never missed the playoffs.
Oh.
But I had a crushing defeat this week. If I won, I was set to probably still make the playoffs. but I think I'm going to miss out. I would need some magic,
Really?
but it's trade deadline week, so I have to make
Are
a
you
decision.
scoreboard watching at this point?
Well, I play the guy I'm chasing this week in McCord.
Oh, okay.
If I win, I'm 1 game back. I have the season series with 2 games to go. So then I need to win. I need him to lose out kind of the rest of the way.
I know nothing about fantasy football.
Have you never done it?
Never.
I envy you. I envy you.
Well, I see the torment that it causes. I mean, looking at Jay today, he looks flustered about everything.
Well, that's from other reasons too.
Oh,
I'll say this. I wish I didn't. Well, like I used to do a lot of fantasy football. I used to be like Dusty and had multiple leagues.
like he does like 6 leagues.
I hated it after a while because I like football for football. And I stopped watching for the love of the sport and started watching for my fantasy teams and was getting upset and angry based on my fantasy teams. And I was like, no, I love this sport. It's my favorite sport. So I'm
see.
down to 1.
I see.
I'm just at 1. And now I'm
Yeah.
back to just enjoying football for football.
Are
great.
you so? But does it allow you to watch a game that no one else has any interest in, and you have an interest in, and make it more enjoyable to watch?
Football's my favorite sport.
Really?
Yes, easily. I could watch football without having to have any vested interest. When bowl season comes around, if you'd like to, you could jump on board with myself and Lucas Holt and Eric, and we watch all the bowl games. They're great, and I have zero interest in Appalachian State taking on Louisiana Tech, Gager, but I'm all in.
Well, I did notice you at the old place because you were watching a lot of college football, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. And
It's great.
I mean, my goaltending partner on Team Canada, he was big into gambling. But back then you had to actually have a bookie, I think. So he had a bookie.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kinda cool, yeah,
To be
yeah.
like, I made a bet. Like
It's like when you
play
had your-
Alberta's so easy. You're just on your phone. Let's make a bet. The other one, you have to like go physically grab the phone, make your call, get it into your bookie.
And it's actually even more dangerous and stuff because that guy could probably break your legs.
Yeah, they weren't
And
friendly people.
It's not like your weed guy. Your weed guy was usually chill. You know, hey, I'll show up at a certain time. But your bookie's like prompt, and so he got
If not early.
yeah, he got into college basketball for the first time ever and only. But it was fun to watch because it wasn't the NBA because there was more mistakes and every shot doesn't always go in. So it was way more fun to watch and bet on college basketball than the NBA.
That's where March Madness is fun.
Yeah.
Cause like you that one I find more when you do your bracket, like
Yeah.
you're way more invested because especially when it's like a big one for your bracket going far. Like when you lose an Elite 8 in the
Yeah.
first round, you're just pissed off or you pick that upset. That one's a lot of fun.
I do like gambling movies though. Those are always really good.
Best gambling movie? Like, are you talking about just in a casino or regular gambling?
Just like any type of gambling, like
Casino's great. Just start off the bat.
but you know what's a good one? The Color of Money. You ever watch The Color of Money?
Never heard of it.
Tom Cruise, Paul Newman. It's
86.
It's the second one to Paul Newman's original, which I watched a few months ago. It's black and white.
Scorsese.
Yeah, and it's pool, right? But hustling at pool. It's a great movie. Tom Cruise looks like he's 6, but
Your thoughts always welcome. It is the River Cree inbox presented by River Cree. Elton Ron tribute to Elton John. That's coming up this week, August 29th. When is that? The 29th is Friday? Friday at the River Cree. Go get your tickets right now, 780-218-9999, or you can jump into the Nasty Chat. Lots to get to. Some news from the station. Double piece of news from the station I got to get to. Elks won 3 straight on Friday. I know you've got it on your screen on the side. The U.S. Open is underway, and Boko out in the first round. I will go back to when Hernan and I were together at the beginning of this month, when she won the Canadian Open or the Rogers or whatever the cup is called, National Bank Open. We had John Horn on, and I asked, what is the expectation for her as we go into the US Open? You know, because some people would say, well, I win. And I said it at the time, like, there's a chance she could lose in that first round because you skyrocket in the seedings very quickly.
yeah.
And that'd be a huge disappointment if she does. I don't think this is a disappointment that Mboko, or I shouldn't say disappointment. It's a disappointing. I don't think it's a failure on her part.
No. Not at all. I mean, just what she did was incredible, and it matched up against former greats. So obviously expectations are high. But all of a sudden going into a Grand Slam with a little bit of more pressure on you all of a sudden, the eyes, like I wonder what that feels like, especially in a sport like tennis where even the smallest amount of success, all of a sudden the weight of a nation is kind of on your shoulders, you know, if once you show some prowess. So I'm sure that was
month
part
ago,
of it.
no one knew her name. For the most part.
Exactly. So you know what? It's a learning year. Let's see. I mean, obviously, next step is the Australian. Weird that we're talking about the Australian Open already, but
well, we don't.
But we
have
have
to jump
2
that
weeks
far.
of fuzzy balls being hit for over this fortnight.
Favorite major in tennis?
Oh gosh,
Because US is mine.
is
for
it
TV viewing?
You like the late night?
I love that 8-9 o'clock Arthur Ashe main events.
Those
It's like I remember watching some Roger Federer's or Nadal's, like not going up against each other, obviously, but they take to that court and you just watch them for to close out your night. As we're like, it's also like switching from summer to fall. It's just it hits right for me.
I remember watching the Jimmy Connors late into his career against, was it Cruikshank? I forget, Christensen, whatever. You had goosebumps for 3.5 hours or 4 hours, however long that, because every point Connors made was like hustling and diving, but the crowd went nuts. Like people probably went out of there doing at least 300 to 400 squats because they were out of their seats on every point. Like some of those old ones, and the Federer, Nadal's, and like the McEnroe on his run. I love when the old guy comes in and has one last gasp. Like, greatness. And like you said, there's nothing quite like having a New York 11:30 at night 5-setter where people are just going absolutely bonkers.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I would rather go to Wimbledon for anything else.
I always thought that
watching
my
US.
dream ultimate sports trip of a lifetime would be to just go to all 4 majors. Because it's through the year, 2 weeks at a time. I'd love it.
Australia, England,
France. And
New
France,
York. That's pretty solid.
The French and Wimbledon are real close too, right? So that would be great.
That'd be a nice check off.
Yeah. But I think now it's migrated over to F1. I would, if I could do anything, I think I would like to take Eric to Zandvoort and we could go this weekend.
Thanks for the invite.
It's a race week.
Yeah, no, go for the other host, not the one that's with you for the next 3 days.
I don't know if you like that
not
type
even
of music.
Kub gets knocked out again, doesn't even get an invite.
Wow.
That's cool. Thanks, Gager.
You're welcome.
Medvedev match last night went till 1 a.m. New York time. Like that's the stuff I love.
It's crazy.
And then you go to bed, and it's wonderful. News today. I'll start with the second biggest news, and then go to the biggest news. Labor Day bus to Calgary.
Oh, right.
Elks 3 straight. We've been doing promoting with the Edmonton Elks, a Labor Day bus to Calgary, 2 buses. On the Hangout I said today, go to edmontonsportstalk.com, click on Labor Day bus, takes you there. Use the promo code EST Labor Day, 125 plus GST instead of the regular 150 plus GST. As soon as I get out of the Hangout, I look at some emails. Sold out.
Wow.
We're sold out. The 2 buses are sold out. If you missed out on getting on the EST Labor Day bus, you can still head out to the link and sign up. They're doing a waiting list right now, just in case somebody drops out in the next couple of days. But we've been saying it for a number of weeks here. Jump on this because it's going to sell out and you're going to miss out on this. And unfortunately, if you haven't booked your bus spot yet, you could get on that wait list. But for the most part, you might be out. For everyone that has booked, 2 Canadian clubs, we'll head from Commonwealth down to McMahon, come on back. We'll stop in Red Deer on the way down. We'll be there for the tailgate, as well as we'll, celebrate, hopefully cheer on an Elks victory.
You think
all
they can
together.
Do it?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be.
We'll get into that in the next segment, but it's the line. The people that play Alberta don't think so either right now. 8.5.
Really?
Yeah. 8.5 was the last time I saw it.
Interesting.
If you like the Elks, Jay's got a play of the day that's connected on that one, by the way. So you might want to look at that one. Also today from this morning, major announcement. Coming September 3rd, next Wednesday, our morning show, the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. You can hear it on Edmonton Sports Talk on all our audio streams as you've been able to for 2 years. You can watch it on YouTube as you've been able to do for 2 years. You can listen to a podcast as you've been able to do for 2 years. But we're adding a fourth way to consume the Nielsen Show, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. Weekday mornings, right on 95.7 Cruise FM. You'll be able to catch the Morning Boys right there as well. So if you jump in your car and you preset to 95.7, boom, 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, starting next Wednesday, you'll be able to hear Edmonton Sports Talk live right there, which is very, very exciting.
Was I telling you about my antenna in the car?
Yes.
So my car's on its last legs, but what happened was the antenna where the base eroded, so it disconnected. So essentially all my AM channels are gone. I can't get AM radio at all. But
it's really weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you did to your antenna.
And then but not some of the FMs are a little staticky. But it's okay. I tuned it to cruise today, and it sounds.
It's on your preset now?
Yeah, it's on the preset.
Keep that locked on your presets. It's a very exciting. It's a big moment for us. I remember going back to Nate. I chatted with Nate last fall. I think I was brought in for the first time ever. Graduated years ago. Never was brought back. Finally, I was brought back. It was a big deal for me. And somebody did ask, would you ever go on radio again? And I said, yeah. I outright at that moment said, and I didn't know anything about this, but I said I wouldn't do AM. It's just not. It's not going that way in this country, but FM without in a heartbeat. That'd put us back on FM if we had the chance.
Not a political show, Maddie? An AM political Sunday morning?
We could do that on a FM now.
Okay.
That's it. We don't need to get into the political stuff right now, Gager. No, I always said for EST, I would love to get us back on a FM in some way, shape, or form, and now it's happening. So very excited about that. Very excited about our partnership with Cruise FM, and that's starting next Wednesday morning. You still get all of everything, Edmonton Sports Talk. The rest of the day is all the same, and even the morning show, it's all the same. The only thing is we're adding one more way that you could tune into the show.
Has there been a sports
No.
on FM?
No, not in this country.
Not in the country.
Not in this country.
Wow.
I'm a bit of a radio nerd to a degree. I've thought about this. I don't know of one. Avery jumped into the nasty chat here in the hangout saying he can't think of one. Dave doesn't know of one. I know of AM show. I know of sports talk shows that have been on non-sports stations. Obviously, Reed had one of those back at Ched.
Yeah.
I don't know of a sports show on an FM dial in this country.
Huh.
It happens in the U.S. all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's all sports radio stations on FM. Boston's #1 radio station is a sports station on FM radio.
Okay.
But I don't believe it's been done in this country. We were the first all sports digital radio station, and now we believe, unless we're corrected wrong by someone else, we are the first sports show on FM radio in the country.
That's a Jeopardy question, eventually.
Jeopardy Canada.
Yeah.
Hosted by Joaquin Gage. I think you'd be a great host.
You think?
Of any of those, like of a game show? I think you'd be fantastic.
Thanks, Maddie. Jeez,
You've got that personality. You've got that fun. You could play with people, both fun and like you could mock someone when they deserve to be mocked and stuff.
My mocking skills are good.
Yeah. Well, you could also give the props when needed. You're personable. You got great jokes, and you don't have to come out. You just have to read the stuff.
That's the Howard Stern always says that's the end game, to just get a really cushy game show gig. But
Smith TM14 says Montreal. I don't recall one in Montreal. Maybe French radio.
Ooh, maybe.
I don't know enough about French radio in Montreal. AM radio, I don't recall one. They had CJAD, which they ran, but that was an AM station that ran all news, which had sports. I don't know of a sports show. I will say that. When we come back, we're going to talk some Elks. Nice. 3 in a row. We'll get inside the numbers for Play Alberta. And a reminder later this hour, Dave Drabiuk, he's Alberta Basketball Executive Director, to talk about their 50th dinner or 50th year gala, which will feature John Stockton. That's coming up later in this hour as well. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. Let's send to a sports update with Zachary Kubich. I was about to say Zacticum, but then I quickly switched out of it. With the Coop here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Breaking news coming from NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Jacoby Myers has requested a trade from the Raiders. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin and the Commanders have reached a deal worth a total of $96 million over 3 years, which includes a $30 million signing bonus. Through 17 games last season, the 29-year-old had 13 touchdowns for nearly 1,100 yards. In CFL news, the Argos have added safety Shiloh Sanders to their negotiation list. He was let go from the NFL's Buccaneers yesterday. And from Toronto, it's the Jays and Twins going at it to open a 3-game series. Toronto winning 2 of 3 against the Marlins on the road in their 3-game series most recently. Today, it's Max Scherzer taking the mound for the Birds. First pitch at 5:07. Elsewhere, the Phillies visit the Mets. The Nationals match up with the Yankees while Baltimore plays host to Boston. And earlier in tennis, Canada's Victoria Mboko made her U.S. Open debut, losing to Barbara Krejcikova in first-round singles action earlier today. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care. Whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Joaquin Gage and Matt Iwanyk continue the show on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
And we're taking the Nielsen Show to FM radio, and we will be the first sports talk show on FM radio in Canadian history. September 3rd, that is next Wednesday. The Nielsen Show to start will be on Cruise FM 95.7. So in the morning, you will be able to just push 95.7, and you'll get the Nielsen Show unchanged.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Goodbye. You sure are going to miss them, but their room would make a great yoga studio. Store their childhood treasures safely with Sentinel Storage and find some space for you. Try 4 weeks free. SentinelStorage.ca.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Let's begin.
Back on EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We're in the William Huff studio since 1952. William Huff has been providing industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a show, 780-454 4536. Something just popped up on my computer blocking the number as I was reading that one, so apologies. Right there, Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here alongside The Cube. I am in for Hernan Salas for the next 3 days here on the show. Barry the Cheater, will the Nielsen Show be in the Cruise radio station or from the EST studio? It's all, again, nothing is changing. We're broadcasting live from this studio. The morning show will be broadcasting live from here. You actually didn't know this, but a few shows over the last number of weeks next to Cube. And for a period of time, there was Benny. We actually had an engineer from Cruise putting in a whole system here. There's a bunch of extra equipment that's now here that sends that audio all to crew. So you didn't know that was happening, but Rakub was giving you a sports update. And right next to it, we were connecting to Cruise FM, getting this all good to go. So no, nothing changes. We are still broadcasting from here. Wait, look, William Huff did this. We ain't leaving this. Our morning boys aren't leaving this rapping.
It's
just for 3 hours.
Deluxe.
So no, nothing. That they're all still going to broadcast from here. It'll just go through all these different connections, take you to the Cruise studio, and then it'll be transmitted out on 95.7 FM.
How are things going with the move and everything? I've been trying to book a meeting with Jay in your office, and he keeps pushing it out. So
I'm without a receptionist now this week. He's gone.
So I can come in.
How's the move gone?
Yeah.
It went well. We haven't done anything this month, I don't feel, to fine tune things. Like this TV's still not centered.
Oh.
We've just had too many people off.
Okay.
I think once SDs pass, and then we will have some one-on-ones with people here, but beyond that, I think once SDs pass and things kind of get normal around here with work schedules, then we could start working on those things. Yeah, like this TV bothers me.
Really?
Well, like look at it for those, sorry, on those on the audio stream, I'll try to explain it to you, but for those on the YouTube, like it's closer to your side of that Edmonton Sports Talk logo than my side. You see, like right here, there's a lot more space here than on your side. This is not centered.
Okay.
It's those type of small things that bother me, and I know bother some others.
Does it really?
Oh, Coop, does it bother you?
Everything bothers me, Matty. I complain about everything. Well, like even like the monitors, just like.
Well, yeah, on this one it's just on, just on
for like a little second.
But I think we're at the we're at a pretty good spot for zoomed in.
Yeah, like enough room where if you sit back and splay your arms out, you'll still be in frame. But it's not, you don't look like an ant on screen. It's pretty good. We did a great job here.
So small things that need to just sort it out. But otherwise, it went great.
Good.
Thank you for all your work and your support in the move.
You're welcome.
Mentally, you were there spiritually.
Yes.
For us. We'll just say that. Let's get to Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta. Download the app today. Visit them, playalberta.ca. EST Sports, deposit 20, get a $50 free sports bet. YEG 50, deposit 5, get a $50 free sports bet. If you haven't used those this month, you've just got a few more days to use those. And then once next week comes, we'll have new promo codes with Play Alberta. Jay's Play of the Day is up there related to the Edmonton Elks. The CFL early bird bet, Bombers plus 6.5, Argos plus 6.5, Elks plus 7. That is boosted to plus 600. Just click on EST specials on Play Alberta's app or on their website, playalberta.ca. The Elks, 3 straight victories as they now go on to Calgary on Labor Day, next Monday for the Labor Day Classic. Gager, you asked me in the break. I'll answer it right away here, but what's your confidence level of this Elks taking on this Stamps team?
I have hesitation towards the Elks because at the beginning of this 3-game streak, we kind of looked at the last 2 as must wins anyway, right?
Yep.
And it was going up against beatable competition, I think. And look, they got the job done. They've put themselves in a little bit better of a position. But I'm always hesitant when I don't see the best out of the other team, right? And they took advantage. It got a little fuzzy there for a portion of that football game, but they were able to get it back under control and bring it home. But it gives me pause after seeing Calgary play a handful of games. Are they the best team in the CFL?
It's not close. I don't think. Like, here's the Calgary Stampeders. And look, when it comes to the standings, the Calgary Stampeders are 7-3. Saskatchewan's 8-2. So Calgary by standings is 1 game worse.
Yeah.
The only 2 losses Saskatchewan has this year are to the Calgary Stampeders. Yeah. The Stampeders have swept the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
They've stomped them.
Now, yes. They have swept the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 3 games. Winning 2 against the team's hard. They did 3.
Yeah.
This is a team that when you look at the 3 losses Calgary has, they lost to Ottawa with PJ Walker as their starting quarterback. This team's very different with PJ Walker. And they had some other injuries that they didn't have Jalen Philpott. They didn't have Damien Alford. They were without a lot of players in that game. Yeah. They lost to Montreal when they had a lead when VA got hurt. So VA had them in the position to win that football game. And then they lost an early game into the season to the Ottawa Redblacks. But in their 7 wins, their average margin of victory in those 7 wins, it's almost 14 points. It's 13.7. And it's not like they've played easy competition, then that's all you could point to. It's not like they could say, like the Elks, they've won 3 straight, but it's Montreal that's banged up. It's Toronto and Ottawa who are the worst 2 teams in the Canadian Football League. Calgary's not, we're not saying that with Calgary. We're saying they have this record beating Saskatchewan and beating Hamilton and beating Winnipeg and beating Toronto in there.
I mean, I watched a good portion of that game, and I thought, and the broadcasters even mentioned it wasn't typical Trevor Harris that we've seen over the last for this whole season. Really, he struggled a little bit, so I don't think you were getting Saskatchewan's best. But part of that you have to put on the Stampeders that they didn't allow Trevor Harris to become comfortable. Like he was rushed. He couldn't get the ball out like he normally does. And then VA just seems so commanding. It'll be a good test. It's always fun to play against the best, and you got to, like you said, even though their record doesn't reflect the best, I think everyone looks at the Calgary Stampeders as the best team in the CFL right now. They're playing the best, and this is the measuring stick game. Because I don't think Calgary's going to take Edmonton lightly, especially in this. After last year, didn't Edmonton sweep?
Edmonton beat three times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the win on Labor Day was huge for the all-time record because it's 31-31-1 on Labor Day now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The Elks got it back. For my entire life, I talked about this on the Hangout. My entire life, the Double E had the record on Labor Day. And slowly through the 10s, Calgary's chipped away. And then finally 2 years ago, Calgary took the lead. But the Elks got it back to the tie. So this year we're trying to get it back in the Elks territory.
Yeah.
But I'm just surprised that in a way it feels like how dismissive people are of Calgary right now.
Oh, you think?
I feel like there's a little bit too much of it. Even myself. When I was on with Jay last week, it brought up, and I at one point had to stop myself and laugh about it because, like, we were just talking about it was a statement game win for whoever was going to win between Saskatchewan or Calgary. And I'm like, but why did Calgary need to make a statement win? Why am I even believing that they need one when they've already beaten Saskatchewan, beat Winnipeg 3 times in Hamilton? Like, you're allowed losses to good teams when you're a good team. You're not going to run the entire table, but yet it was still like they need another statement win.
Yeah.
And now they have a statement win, and there's a lot of people, I think, looking at this line going 8.5 and going, that's ridiculous. When, again, the margin of victory that the Stampeders have this year is nearly 14 points.
I wonder if it's just because going into the season, no one saw this coming.
Nobody did.
And to say you did, you're lying.
I did say they're better. They're going to be better than people. They're not going to be the worst team. They're better. Haas and I were both saying that on the Lock Show. But I said, even at that point when I was saying, I'm like, but they're not going to win the West.
I really thought that they would be lower than the Elks were going into, just from what everyone was saying and things like that. Oh, okay.
2 ways I see the Elks winning this. One of them is what you just said, though. If the Stampeders overlook them.
Little fat and
That's
sassy.
your opening. That's one of your openings right there. If they sit there, like, there's an opportunity where if the Stamps go, like, look, we just beat Saskatchewan twice. We beat Winnipeg 3 times. We've beaten Hamilton. Who's Edmonton? We've got this.
Yeah.
That's one opening. The other is the fact that, okay, the line is 8.5. I'd say take Edmonton market out of this because obviously there's going to be an extra bias from the city to their franchise. They got to go to Calgary on Monday going, we have nothing to lose. We're expected to lose. And that type of opponent where you don't agree with that?
Well, not really, because they can't lose either to keep pace. Like if they want
sorry.
That's all right, man. If they want to stay in this playoff hunt, they got to win, man. They got to.
They do, but I don't think they have to win both. They have to get a split.
Okay.
I think it's a lot to ask for a sweep. They need a split.
I didn't mind it when I played the old one game at a time attitude, but it really is with the Elks. But I think it's just so important that they take this first one.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because I look at it the other way, just because you're coming home. Like, if you lose that first one, like this is to me goes back to like NHL playoffs type thing where I like starting on the road and coming back home, even if I had the home ice.
Yeah, you and
because
I
if I lose that, like if I'm Edmonton and I lose on Monday to Calgary, I know I'm coming home. Now all the pressure flips to me for that home game, but I know I'm coming home with my crowd, with my bed, all of that to get that split. Whereas if I take that first one, now I'm into gravy time.
Yeah, things have helped the Elks out a little bit. And like that Toronto game, that helped out the Elks by BC losing. That was crazy, that game. That was absolutely nuts. How much did Art Buckles throw for? 450 or something like that?
443 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had a touchdown on the ground.
Jesus.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's an opportunity. You can't pass this up.
Well, it's not an easy schedule for the Edmonton Elks the rest of the way. They get Calgary twice. They get Toronto. They get Hamilton. They get Saskatchewan. They get Winnipeg. They get BC. They beat Calgary. For them to make the playoffs, probably need to get to minimum 9 wins. Mm-hmm. They sit at 4. That means they need to get 5 of their next 8. Right? Yes. Is my math right on that one? I believe it is. Thinking that they'll get 5 of 8. It's going to be very difficult. I think they can get the last one to Calgary. I'll give them that because I think Calgary will be resting people. I will give them Toronto on the 13th. They need to find 3 more between the set against Calgary coming up, going to Hamilton, playing Saskatchewan, Winnipeg at home, and BC and stuff. It's going to be a very, very difficult schedule, but we'll see what this Edmonton Elks team is truly made of in the next half. These are the last 3 games are games they had to win to put themselves in a spot so we could discuss the idea of playoffs. Now, if you want to be a playoff team, you got to go win those football games. That was Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta right here on EST Afternoons. And now Matt Iwanyk and Joaquin Gage with you. When we come back, Dave Drabiuk from Alberta Basketball. He's the executive director. He will stop by. We'll also jump into the Nasty Chat as well as the River Cree inbox. But first, here is a Cube Sports update, and we'll be back with Dave Drabiuk of Alberta Basketball.
Out east, the Jays play the Twins for the first of 3 games. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. making his return to the lineup. He missed the last 5 games with hamstring tightness. It's Max Scherzer to the bump at 5:07. And Toronto's up 5 games on the Red Sox for first in the AL East. Boston is in action today. They face Baltimore to open the night at 4:35. After that, the Brewers battle the D-backs while the Rangers challenge the Angels. And some big news in football, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero from the NFL Network both reporting that Jacoby Myers of the Raiders has requested a trade from Washington. Terry McLaurin and the Commanders have agreed to a 3-year deal. He gets a $30 million signing bonus and $96 million overall after he recorded 13 touchdowns and nearly 1,100 yards in 17 games last season. For the Argos, Shiloh Sanders has been added to their negotiation list. He was released by the Buccaneers yesterday. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. We return to talk some local basketball on the other side of the break.
The EST Hangout.
NCAA football, baby.
It's a game. That thing is a game
They don't call it
changer.
week 0, you said, though.
NCAA website, I found the TV schedule because I was trying to see what game I wanted to go watch. They wrote it as week 0.
Oh.
But ESPN and everywhere else has it still as week 1. It's like a long week 1. So I don't know officially what it is. For me, in my heart, it'll always be week 0.
Week 0.5.
Week 0, baby.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
We'll return here on EST Afternoons right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here. Coming up 2:20, we'll talk some NFL fantasy football. Next segment, we will have the faces of the franchise. We'll see what type of debate we can get into here on the show. A reminder coming up at 3 o'clock. It is the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Read off for this week yet again. Tom Gazzola will be in for a few days. I'll be back in on Thursday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, Tommy will be in with Jay on the Reed Wilkins Show. Let's get to our next guest. He is the Alberta Basketball Executive Director. Dave Drabiuk joins us. And Dave, really appreciate the time. Coming up September 6th, it's going to be a fun night as it's the Alberta Basketball 50th Anniversary Gala Dinner. Just tell us about, this is a big celebration for you guys. What's it been like planning this big dinner?
Well, thanks for having me on, and I really appreciate the question. Planning, as you can imagine, has been interesting. It's been a handful. We're trying to find a way to appropriately celebrate 50 years of our past since our inception date back in February of 1975, and also look ahead to the future and honor everybody that, the shoulders that we're all standing on. We're trying to make sure they get their flowers and they get their moment, and also try to inspire the community to keep the progress going.
Okay, so I guess the big thing, John Stockton, he's the keynote speaker. He's kind of a little bit of a big deal. What was it like trying to, and then ultimately booking John Stockton for this gala dinner?
You know what? John has been, as you can imagine, he's a very busy man. And luckily we've got somebody that used to be on our board of directors that knows John a little bit better than just a friendly handshake. They go back a long way, and he was willing to do a little bit of the middle person work, if you will, to make this all come together. And I think John's very excited to come and lend his voice and his personality to the evening and help us celebrate. I don't know if people know, but back in the 90s, John actually attended here at McEwen, was running a basketball camp in the summer, and he came up as a guest for part of that camp and was very gracious about signing autographs and taking pictures. And at that time, it was kind of peak of his career. He was just coming off being on the Dream Team. And then he, about 10 years later, did the same down in Calgary at an event. So no stranger to Alberta, and we're really lucky to have him.
Dave, I without giving too much away, I just noticing on the site you have a few things planned for the evening. Part of it is the 50 greatest moments, and again, without too much of a peek behind the curtain, is there a favorite moment in Alberta basketball over these past 50 years that resonates with you most?
Well, I'll talk about two, and one of them is the most recent moment, which is our men's and women's 17U teams winning double gold medal at Canada Summer Games. Cool. That was the first gold medal for our men's program and our back-to-back gold medalist for our women at Canada Summer Games. So that's a late addition to the 50 greatest moments. And the other one that really I think was a little bit of the template, if you will, or the inspiration for this was in 1983 at the World University Games, or Universiad as we've all called them. Canada beating the USA and then going on to win the gold medal at that tournament. So we looked at that moment. We said, how do we celebrate things like that have happened in the province? And that's what inspired us to these 50 greatest moments.
There will be a reunion of the 2015 Team Canada, the senior women's. Edmonton has been home, but it's the 10th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Tell people about that 2015 team for those that maybe have forgotten or just weren't aware of why this team is getting this reunion and deserves a big celebration.
Sure. Well, it's the 10th anniversary. If you've been to the main gym, the competition gym at the Salvo Community Sports Center, you will see the banner still up on the wall that says the training home of our senior women's national team. Alberta was home to our Canadian women's national team in Edmonton here, and that was our training headquarters. And then we hosted the FIBA Americas 2015 tournament. They won that tournament in spectacular fashion, and that was the qualifier to get them to the the Rio Olympics. And there we were in the gym celebrating right along with them the fact that our senior women's national team had qualified for the Olympics, and had a couple of hometown favorites, had the Plouffe sisters involved in that roster. And I think all of those women became adopted Edmontonians for the period of time that they were training in Edmonton. And I know they left it's a very large stone going into the pond, and all the ripples of inspiring young women to get involved with high performance basketball. So we're really honored to have some of those roster members coming back and reliving those moments and talking about their journey and where we are now with our women's national team and just where we are with women's basketball right now.
John Stockton, a legend, chance to hear from him. Honor this reunion team of the 2015 Team Canada. Tickets, abastore.ca. What else can people expect for the 50th anniversary gala dinner?
Sure. We've got, we've got some silent auction items. We've got a couple of, John has agreed to do a live auction of a jersey that he'll sign right there at the table for you and things like that. So if you're a sports memorabilia person, there'll be some cool stuff there. We've got our 50 greatest moments that we'll be unveiling. And then at the end of the night, we're going to give a sneak peek, a little look behind the curtain. This time next year, we will be doing our inaugural induction class of the Alberta Basketball Hall of Fame. And we're going to give a little peek behind the curtain to the kind of the front runners, or maybe the easy first ballot Hall of Famers, just to give people a taste of that and let people get excited about that for the next year as well.
Dave, all the best with the event. Again, tickets, abastore.ca, and looking forward to seeing you guys celebrate 50 years, but also look forward to what you guys have in stock for the next 50 years. Thanks so much, Dave.
Appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Have a great day.
There's the Alberta Basketball Executive Director, Dave Drabiuk. Again, 50th anniversary gala dinner. What a big name at John Stockton. Remember when that press release came out? I was like, is this Alberta? Like, are we sure this is Alberta?
Yeah. Do you watch John Stockton at all?
I saw very little of John Stockton.
Okay.
I remember I would see him and Malone in NBA Jam growing up.
Okay.
Right? Like, there was, you go through the teams, those were the two that you see. So, like, I know of John Stockton. I've seen him play a little bit. But, like, even his partner, Karl Malone, like, my bigger memory of Karl Malone is him and Gary Payton coming to the Lakers in 2004.
Really? That's too bad.
We lost in the finals to the Pistons.
They were so good. Like, it was such a dynamic duo where the power forward and just Stockton, his passing ability was just uncanny, right? Man, they were good. Just great to watch. If you ever can watch a documentary on John Stockton, because he looked so clean cut and nice, but I guess he was just vicious and mean too.
I think to play in the 90s and stuff.
You kind of had to be, but it didn't look like he was vicious and mean.
Yeah, he was an 11-time All-NBA selection, 5-time All-Defensive honoree, first ballot Hall of Famer in 2009.
Yeah. Awesome.
Like, it's incredible to go be able to see him and hear him talk. They'll have silent auction, special guests as well. Isn't a friend Reed Clark is going to host the event. So that's all happening. Oh, also, it's on the home court for the Stingers at Expo Center.
Cool.
So Feast of the Field for Capital Care that Dusty was at last Friday. That was at the Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. This one, you got to do it right on the court for Expo Center. Those are cool little events that they have. It's
where my daughter dances.
Really?
They have a lot of competitions there, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Cool.
They cut it in half.
Yeah.
And then
dancing once, two both
it's
sides,
on the
like
floor.
split. Yeah.
It's on the floor. And then, it's probably like quarter of, not even half, about a quarter. And there's bleachers, obviously, on the floor, but then off to the sides. Yeah.
I remember watching the Edmonton Ice in that area.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Jared Stoll.
Oh, yeah, Stoley. Didn't, who else played on that team that, didn't Raffy play on that team too?
I don't think he would have been on that team.
I thought he was on that team.
Because he went to play together with Stoll in the juniors, would have he?
I don't know.
So 97, 98. So take a look at some of this team. Chris Knobloch played for them. Center Mike Green played for them. Steve McCarthy played for them.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Roadrunners. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of the Roadrunners, and that was when they did the AHL had those big wide blue lines.
Oh right.
Yeah. Jared Stoll was on that team. Who else do I know? Don't really know much else of these people. Don't even know much of these goalies. The main goalie that year, Bryce Wandler. Ring a bell to you?
No.
96, 97 the other year. Yeah, there's a lot of names that I don't know. Chris Knobloch played both years.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He's just got a history
in
Edmonton sports. Knobloch in the first year must have been like a mid-season trade. What's this? He got traded from Red Deer because he played 24 games. He had 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points, 73 PIMs. 14 points in 24 games ain't bad.
That's not bad.
And then in 97, 98, he played 72 games. He had 18 goals, 23 assists, 41 points. He had 193 PIMs.
Really?
He led the team in PIMs.
I wonder what we got to look at some score sheets here. Were they sticking fractions?
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Like the next closest is that played a lot. Well, Jason Norrie. He played 39 games. He had 175 PIMs in 39 games. But then it was 66 games. He had 172 penalty minutes for Dion.
That's
Lasso.
the Western League?
Yeah.
And I don't think they counted 10s at that point. So those are 5-minute majors and...
Somebody should ask him about that in his next press conference.
Yeah, we're looking up your stats.
Chris, we were just looking at these, and you had 193 penalty minutes in 97, 98 with the Edmonton Ice, and you led the team. What happened there?
I don't think they counted 10s. If they didn't, that's impressive. Maybe they did.
And he still put up a good amount of points. He was tied for third in points on the team. Jay Henderson played 72 games. He had 94 points for them.
I remember. So...
As an 18-year-old.
Was Knobloch the Matthew Tkachuk of the league?
He might have been. He might have been that guy. He's going to help carry you to victories, but also he's not afraid to spend a little time in the penalty box.
Yeah. Maybe he should have thrown the gear on.
Who cares about the U of A stuff? Let's talk about the Edmonton Ice, Chris Knobloch. And
then they moved to Kootenay, right?
Yeah. They only got 2 years here, moved to Kootenay.
Yeah.
And it was sad as a young kid. It's very sad. Do you think Edmonton could handle going this way, an American Hockey League team with the WHL, with the NHL here?
I wish they did. Who was Dusty and I talking about? We were talking about ticket prices, right? And how expensive they are.
Yeah, you guys doing 2 guys on Thursday.
Yeah. And so the being able to, because it'll all be under one banner anyway. It's all under OEG.
Yep.
How can you not have another team? And I don't know the whole structure of the operating costs, but by having another team, another source of revenue coming in, could that lower your top guys' price?
No.
Probably not, huh?
No.
Just offering something else?
It's people are willing to pay for those prices. Those prices ain't going down.
I mean,
it's added revenue. I just look at it from...
I liked what you said, though.
The party?
Yeah.
You make the American Hockey League the party for the Zachs and the Trevs and the Bennies of the world.
Yeah.
And you make the Oil Kings very family focused. Yeah. You want to kind of go get plaster and have a good time, come see the Condors. You want to bring your kids and have a nice, good time and be entertained and have a lot going on, come watch the Oil Kings.
Yeah.
You have your big, theme nights for the Oil Kings. You do cheap beers and food for the Coubs of the world.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
His head came up with cheap beer and
just
stuff.
because it's fun to see the potential. What might be coming down the line, and with the new rules, according with call-ups and things like that.
That's the big one.
It just makes way more sense. I was always so envious of going to places where their minor league team was really close or in the same city as the NHL team.
Portions of this hour of EST Afternoon, they're brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Patio season's on at the CBH. Sunshine, cold drinks, and the best atmosphere. Grab your crew, head down to the CBH. This is patio week here in the city of Edmonton. Right now, it is already a scorcher out there. We've got 27 degrees, according to Environment Canada. We're going for a high of 30. Tomorrow's 31. Wednesday's 32. Thursday's 33. Friday's 33. Saturday's Thursday. Sunday's 28. The CBH and their patio is where you're going to want to be. We'll come back with Faces of the Franchise here on EST Afternoon. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We'll take a short time out. Zach will have a sportscast, and then we'll get to Faces of the Franchise. We'll be back right away.
The Lock Shop.
How about Edmonton hanging 30 on Ottawa and coming away with a comfortable 10-point victory, 3 in a row, heading into Labor Day here. Us against a very good Calgary team, don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, you got to beat the teams in front of you, and Cody Fajardo's found a way.
Got it done, got the win. Good teams win, great teams cover. The Elks are turning into a great team, another cover.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summit Racing Equipment brings you the earth-shaking thrills of Monster Truck Throwdown at Edmonton's Radford Raceway. 3 massive shows, August 22nd through 24th, featuring 8 incredible trucks with high-flying thrills and jaw-dropping stunts, including Alberta's own Crude Behavior and Roughneck, along with a return of Avenger and more. Experience the epic power of Monster Truck Throwdown, August 22nd to 24th at Radford Raceway. Don't miss this all-ages event with kid tickets starting at just $17. Get tickets and info at radraceway.com.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
The Jays welcome back Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from a 5-game hiatus to take on the Twins in their series opener. Guerrero Jr. sat out with hamstring tightness. In the game tonight, Toronto's Max Scherzer makes a start. Action gets going at 5:07. And other games include the Royals and White Sox duking it out. The Pirates and Cardinals with a date before the Padres meet the Mariners. And from Vegas, Jacoby Myers has requested a trade from the Raiders, according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin has been locked up by the Commanders. He'll get $96 million over a 3-year extension with the team. The 29-year-old had 13 touchdowns in 17 games last season. He gets $30 million in signing bonuses to boot. CFL News, it's the Argos adding Shiloh Sanders to their negotiation list. He was let go by the Buccaneers yesterday. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoons starts right now.
Metal Monday here on EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubich with you here. Need to have that in the last hour for it to be legit Metal Monday. Miss Metal Monday on the Dave Jamieson Show.
Yeah, you had Metal Monday. Does JMO like metal?
I don't think he likes. I don't think it would be something that he's fully going to go listen to, but he's not opposed to it.
I just loved how he would say, "Oh, is this Slipknot?" Yes. But he made it sound like he would.
I think he listen. Knows some of it.
Does he? Okay.
I think he'll listen to Mark Rogers from. We've had him on the Hangout, CJSR, CKUA. Friday on CJSR he has a metal show, and I think JMO would tune into that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, man, because funny enough, the Niedermeyer brothers.
Yeah.
Where Scott was wasn't. He wasn't the loudest voice in the room, so to say, right? And I play when I was in Kamloops when I was 17, and I went over to his place, and his billet room, all hard metal posters.
Oh yeah,
and that's what they listened to. At the time, just a lot of Judas Priest and I don't, but I never listened to that. Great. Yeah, so he was really, him and his brother, real metal guys.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome to know.
I know.
Yeah. No, we found the Monday, I don't know why it started that way, but we always joke too, but no one in this country on AM is giving you the metal like we are. So it was just a lot of fun, but it was, I don't know, it was a good way to start the week. Having good metal. I forgot what our opening song was for metal though. It was a Slayer.
It was another way to just know what day it was, too.
Yeah, and then we had Twang Tuesday.
Twang Tuesday.
We did Hip Thursday, which was once a month. And then we had Funk Fridays. I don't think we had anything on the Wednesday. Angel of Death. Yeah, that's the one we had. Monday started with Angel of Death. And the way that starts, I don't have my computer plugged in right now. Actually, can I quickly get this on?
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's noon. You just finished with the soothing sounds of Low Tide, and then it comes in with... Here, let's see if I've got this going here.
It was great, man. It's hilarious.
Oh, I can't hear that yelling in the background.
Is that Slipknot?
That's Slayer.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, I should have known that. That wasn't Rain in Blood, though.
No, I don't know why. Whenever I plug in my computer, it doesn't sound great. That was not crystal clear. Something with my computer. We need to get to Faces of the Franchise. I've got the wheel.
Nice.
I've got the list of teams that are not done. I have removed the Edmonton Oilers because you guys will be doing that one last, and I do not want to be here for that one. That's going to be a debate.
Oh, my gosh.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Spinning the wheel. It is... the Philadelphia Flyers.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yikes.
The Flyers. Where do we want to begin with the Philadelphia Flyers?
Well,
we got to get this down to 4.
Always sunny in Philadelphia. They always they bring up Reggie Leach.
Well, there's one automatic. The Toothless Wonder, Bobby Clark.
Yes.
All right, so one's out of the way for sure. Now, goaltending is difficult to think, but let's move on.
I've got 4 forwards to bring up and 2 goalies. Okay. So Ron Hextall and Bernie Perron.
Do you have time for Pelle Lindbergh?
He played 157 games for them.
He was great. He was my favorite goalie.
Oh, I'm forgetting. Okay, I have to add 5 forwards. Reggie Leach. Does he go into this conversation? Claude Giroux. Eric Lindros.
I think Lindros is a...
John Leclerc, Mark Recchi.
Didn't Dave the Hammer Schultz play? Like, what were the Broad Street Bullies? What was... Because they won cups.
Broad Street Bullies. To get this correct, so they were... Shav Picafone. Oh, no, that's the writer for them. Why can't I find their names right off the bat? I'll let you try to find those. We've got Castor going Clark, Leach, Perront, Hextall. Vincenzo Rhoda adds Claude Giroux. VR saying Lindros for sure. Big Uke adding Brandon Manning. Got that big deal to bring him to the Edmonton Oilers. Did you figure out who the Broad Street Bullies were?
There's just a few. It's actually a movie that I didn't. It's a documentary
from HBO, so that you know what's good. HBO does some great stuff.
Champions.
Simon Gagne. I like how Big Uke's going with like just the randoms there.
Hold on.
He's got Peter Forsberg. I forgot Peter Forsberg.
Yeah, he was there, but it wasn't peak Forsberg.
No, that Big Uke's adding like he also has Craig McTavish, Brandon Manning, Ray Emery.
I mean, Chris Pronger brought them to a cup too. Oh my God,
Chris Pronger. That's the thing that's I find is very impressive. Chris Pronger. I think McInnes was there, but him and the two of them brought the Blues to the first overall through the regular season. They won the President's Trophy.
Yeah,
got knocked out in the first round. Took the Oilers to a cup final. Him and Niedermeyer took the Ducks to a cup final and won it. And then he took the Flyers to a cup final. That's incredible. Like, we talk about how the NHL superstars can't carry a team. Chris Pronger is one of those outliers that has proven that he was a guy that can help really drag a team along to a cup final. Because he did it with 3 different franchises and through 82 games helped lead his team to be the best in the National Hockey League. Guy was a beast.
Has there been another player? It's maybe just a handful of guys that drag their team to the final, like Chris Pronger did. Gary Dornhofer? No.
I think I've come down with like the ones that I believe there. I think Clark. Well, no, I don't think Clark. We know Clark.
I think Clark, Lindros, Perron, and
Clark, Lindros, Perron,
Bill Barber.
I have found a list from Bleacher Report that has their 12 Flyers ever. I don't want this app pop up. They've got Bobby Clark, Bernie Perron, Bill Barber, Mark Howe as number 4.
Oh, Mark Howe, I forgot, right?
John Leclerc, Ron Hextall, Tim Kerr, Reggie Leach, Eric Desjardins, Mark Recchi. Lindros is 11. This article comes from 2010. Like, I feel like Claude Giroux has to be there. No?
Really?
Or is this one of those things? Because we did this with the Montreal Canadiens. We didn't have any really new people because it's just such a long history. The Flyers have just such a long history. Did Claude Giroux do enough to become a face of the Philadelphia Flyers?
I mean, he outdueled Sidney Crosby in a couple playoff series, right? But that's his claim to fame. I don't know if that's enough. When you go up on the mountain, when you get your face chiseled in, there has to, your resume has to.
Okay.
Unless you're a very unique individual, and that, I mean.
So he leads the team. He's second all time in points. He played exactly 1,000 games.
It's pretty good.
He's second in assists. He's 2, 4, 6, 8th in goals.
I think he might put him up there before Lindros.
You'd put him up over Lindros.
Well, with the resume, right? It's just
Lindros Lindros
was
points.
Dominant.
Okay, here's the in terms of points. Bobby Clark 1.06 points per game. Claude Giroux 0.9. Bill Barber 0.98. Brian Propp 1.07. Eric Lindros, 1.36. The guy had 659 points in 486 games.
And
does injury really take him out of this?
But he did it in such a unique fashion. Like he ruled with physicality, and I mean ruled with power, skill, speed. But it was just a unique time. That old Spectrum would just be ridiculous, and their boards, when you'd hit, they would almost bend completely over. People in the first round must have had plexiglass hitting them in the faces. Perrant's a no-brainer for me because Conn Smythe, back-to-back Stanley
Perrant
Cups.
and Clark are no-brainers.
No-brainers. Bill Barber is a Hall of Famer and top goal scorer on those Cup teams. I think it now comes down to Giroux or Lindros with what you want to do next.
You think Bill Barber goes into this as a guarantee?
I just look at Cups, man.
It's not always just about the Cups.
It is about the Cup.
Max Bezozu, Giroux, 3 times Hart, top five finalist as a Flyer. So he finished top 5 for the Hart 3 times as a Flyer.
And Lindros won a Hart. Lindros won a couple, didn't he?
Bernie Perrant was a wall that took the Flyers to Stanley Cups. I think he was injured and out for the loss to Montreal in the 76 Cup. I feel, because then this is where generational gap comes in a little bit. Like, I would find it weird to go Claude Giroux and Eric Lindros. One of them won't be in it for Bill Barber as someone who's not too familiar with that full work of Barber. For me,
I don't care.
No, I know. That's where these conversations can sometimes be a little more difficult.
It's not like I sat and watched Bill Barber play hockey as a
But I guess I go back to just those faces of the franchise. Okay, so these are the faces. This is in the city of Philadelphia. They're going to put up their own Mount Rushmore of 4 guys who they are going to recognize as their faces. How soon does Bill Barber pop up into people's minds when it comes to Flyers? Lindros, to me, that's why Lindros is a guarantee.
Yeah.
Because how many people think of Lindros as anything else? You're not going to think of him as a Nordique for that brief period of time on draft day. You're not going to really think of him as a Ranger or a Leaf. Am I missing any other teams? Was he a star?
I think he was a Dallas star too.
He was a star. That's where it all ended. 49 games, 26 points. So he's a Flyer.
He is a Flyer.
And you're going to think of the Flyers. You're going to think of Eric Lindros. You're going to think of Bobby Clark. You're going to think of Bernie Perrant. Are you going to think more of Claude Giroux or Bill Barber?
Yeah, it's a good mix over the generations too. When you think about it, you got Perrant, Clark, Lindros, Giroux.
Are we disrespecting Bill Barber?
A little bit. What was his point totals?
Bill Barber with the Philadelphia Flyers. He was 3rd all-time points getter. He's the all-time goal scorer.
Yeah.
He scored 420 goals. He had 883 points in 903 games. So his points per game was slightly better than Claude Giroux's. He's 4th all-time in assists. He's a Hall of Famer in 1990. In the Hall before I even was born. And did he win any awards? He won the Jack Adams in 2001.
Oh.
Who was he coaching then? Billy. Look at that. Oh, that's American Hockey League. Never mind.
Phantoms?
No, 2001. Yeah, he went. He started there and then he came up. So yeah, that was with the Flyers still. So he has stayed with the Flyers organization, even post. How many people are going to say Bill Barber? If you're walking around and you're asking,
in Philly, they're such a sports city, though. I'm sure.
Scott Thompson says Bill Barber was great, but he was in Clark's shadows. Okay, so this is Claude Giroux versus Bill Barber. How do we want to settle this?
Oh, let's settle this way. Does Claude Giroux go into the Hall of Fame when his career is done?
But that's not the question of...
But Barber's there.
Yeah, but it's about the faces of your franchise. It's about what you do for your franchise.
Well, obviously he meant something.
Okay, Claude Giroux, 1,116 points in 1,263 games. Claude Giroux will be a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
You think? Or do you disagree with that?
He's won gold
World
Olympic
Hockey
gold
Championships.
Yeah.
He won a World Cup of Hockey in 2016. He won the World Juniors in 2008.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
He 7-time All-Star. He's going to the Hall.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Claude Giroux will one day be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, well, Scott's saying Joaquin is right. That's the tiebreaker. Okay, so then here's the question. I'm going to ask everyone out there. Is Claude Giroux a Hall of Famer? Based not whether he should or shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Based on who's in the Hall, based on what we've seen and the voting of the Hall, is Claude Giroux going to the Hall of Fame? I will sit here today saying Claude Giroux will be a Hall of Famer.
How long does it take for him to get in?
Do we have upcoming classes? Upcoming NHL Hall of Fame classes.
He's still playing though, right? He's still
because he was in Ottawa. So when you're out, I think it's 3 years now.
Yeah.
So some of the nominees coming up. So this was from June. So some of these names made the Hall. I forgot who made the Hall this year, but Chara's on the list. Getzlav, Duncan Keith, Carey Price, Tuukka Rask, Jason Spezza, Joe Thornton, Rob Brendamore, Patrick Eliash, Sergei Gonchar, Patrick Marleau, Alex McGillney went in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the names that was listed. He's going in. So Giroux wore the C for Flyers. Barber didn't.
It's true.
Okay, I'm gonna put. Okay, who are you voting for?
I'm gonna go Giroux. Barber's in the gift shop.
I'm going to Claude Giroux as well. I was gonna go to Coop as the tiebreaker, but no. Okay, there's your faces of the franchise for the Philadelphia Flyers: Bobby Clarke, Eric Lindros, Bernie Perron, and Claude Giroux. I don't mind it.
It's tough for me.
They were a tough team.
I weigh the Stanley Cups a little bit more, but
I think her and I will be proud of that one that we came up with. Put that one up in Philadelphia. They're happy with us. They'll throw batteries at it. They'll boo it, but that's the sign of love.
Is Barber kind of like, because they're mentioning how he was in Clark's shadow. Quick question. With Leon Draisaitl, does he go, is he in the same kind of, and that let's not look at, well, maybe we do look at old guys, but does he fall into that Barber category where he was really good, but Connor's looked at as
He's Messier, Connor's Gretzky.
Okay.
There'll be extra love for Connor always, but Leon will get his, but it won't. It's the same. We got Gretzky Drive, we got Messier Trail.
Man, that hall.
We're gonna have two names, two more added streets in the future. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. There's the faces of the franchise, Philadelphia Flyers. We have figured it out. We're going to shift focuses to the National Football League. We're going to talk a little fantasy football next. Michael Fabiano, Sports Illustrated senior fantasy analyst. He's going to join us following a Cube Sports update. This is EST Afternoons Live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
ESPN's Adam Schefter took to Twitter announcing that the Texans are not activating Joe Mixon off of the injured reserve ahead of tomorrow's deadline. He'll have to sit out at least 4 games to start the season as he recovers from an ankle injury. And according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, Jacoby Myers has requested a trade from the Raiders. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin and the Commanders have reached a deal worth a total of $96 million over 3 years. That deal includes a $30 million signing bonus, and through 17 games last season, the 29-year-old had 13 touchdowns for nearly 1,100 yards. From Toronto, the Jays and Twins go at it to open a 3-game series. Toronto winning 2 of 3 games against the Marlins on the road in their 3-game series most recently. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. returns to the lineup. He's missed 5 games with hamstring tightness. It's Max Scherzer to the mound for first pitch at 5:07. Elsewhere, the Phillies visit the Mets. The Nationals match up with the Yankees before Baltimore plays host to Boston. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated since 1993, they're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. We chat some NFL fantasy once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
The Oilers are becoming a premium exclusive product. It's a status to be an Edmonton Oilers season ticket holder more and more. And it's going to slowly keep going that way. And this is a population of 1 million people. There's enough people here that can afford that.
The Oilers can charge essentially whatever they want. If people are paying that, what would suggest to them that they've hit the ceiling of what they can charge?
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Okay, 2 kids, 2 backpacks, lunch bags. Wait, where are the school books? Back to school doesn't have to mean the everyday rush and stress of looking for your kids' items. Have more zen in your mornings. Find space for your family's needs with Sentinel Storage. Go back to school with 4 weeks free. Reserve your space today and find the peace of mind your morning needs. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18+. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
This is EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage with you here live from the William Huff studio on the west end of town. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website, williamhuff.com. Give them a shout, 780-454-4536. For a lot of people, it's draft week. Some have finished their drafts this weekend. Some have their drafts, like myself, coming up next weekend or this upcoming weekend, and leading all up till next Thursday when NFL season kicks off. One of the best analysts you will find for fantasy football. It is Michael Fabiano, senior fantasy analyst for Sports Illustrated, as well as host of Locked On Dynasty and the Fantasy Football Forecast, joins us now. And I know it's a busy time for him as well, so we greatly appreciate the time. Michael, thanks so much. Just want to start off, Michael, with, some years, in the past, there's just a clear, easy number one choice if you have the top pick or a top pick in a draft going into fantasy football. Some years maybe there's a group for you. Is there a consensus number one pick, or is this a year where there's maybe a couple of guys and you kind of can't go wrong with the first few picks?
It's probably Jamar Chase, who's the consensus right now. Bijan Robinson's a very close second. So, it really depends on whether or not you like to go to the wide receiver in round one or a running back there. I don't think there's a bad choice out of those two. I would say that Jamar's coming off a 403-point fantasy season, so you have to expect some regression. He had 17 touchdowns last year. I love him. Don't get me wrong. So he's still going to be in the top 5 at worst among wide receivers. But if you're expecting 400-plus points in back-to-back years, it's probably not going to happen. Bijan Robinson still has some ceiling left. I don't think he's hit his statistical ceiling. And running back is going to be a bit tougher to fill in drafts if you are looking for true featured backs. Now, if you're one of those people who goes 0 RB, I think there's a lot of good potential, not dart throws, but players who might have a track to a potentially big role at some point. Those running backs will be, somewhere in probably round 5, round 6, round 7, somewhere in that area. But you can't really go wrong with either player in terms of Chase or Bijan at number 1.
For what you've seen of kind of where projected guys are going to go in, like first, second round type area, is there any players that you kind of raise your eyebrow at and go, I'm not so sure about them. I would maybe look to pass on them, maybe not expecting as good of seasons from them?
Yeah, Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Saquon Barkley. Excuse me. I was just talking about Bijan and he stuck in my head. I don't know that I've ever seen a running back have almost every statistical trend go against him when it comes to the start of the season. And I'll tell you what I mean. He carried the ball more than 400 times combined in the regular season and the postseason. Almost every other running back who's done that has seen his numbers fall the following year. If you guys are into fantasy football, the curse of 370. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but if a running back carries the ball 370 more times, more often than not, his numbers fail, or he gets hurt the following year. Bijan Robinson is, to me, very safe. Saquon Barkley, not as safe. And when you also consider that the group of running backs who rushed for 2,000 yards in a single season all saw their stats decline by at least 99 fantasy points the following year, and the 99-point decline was from Eric Dickerson, who, if you're not a football fan, he was damn good. Okay, he's one of the greatest running backs in the history of the National Football League. So you also have Saquon on the cover of Madden, for those of you who are superstitious. So that's why. And I've seen Saquon getting taken ahead of Bijan. I don't get it. I've seen Saquon getting picked number one, and I don't get it. My buddy Bob Harris, who's in the industry, has been in the industry for a very long time, works for football guys. One of the great things that he's ever said is that you don't want to draft last year's best team. I feel like if you draft Saquon Barkley in the first 3 to 5 picks, you're looking to draft last year's best team. Because I could be wrong, but I love my trends, and I love my stats, and I love my historical data. And everything says Saquon's going to regress. Everything says that he's going to regress. That's why when you mentioned who's the consensus number one, I didn't mention Saquon. I mentioned Bijan, and I mentioned Jamar Chase.
Michael, full disclosure, I'm not a huge fantasy player, if at all. I watched that show, The League, and didn't want to turn into a complete degenerate because I have a very addictive personality. So looking at this through the lens of a noob or a newcomer, casual fan, how would I... Is there some do's and do nots if I get into a draft this week? And what kind of mistakes do you see first timers kind of make when they go into this draft?
Well, first off, the first do for you is to get into a league, because once you get into fantasy football, especially, you will never want to not play again, because it makes the experience that much more fun. At least for me, that's why fantasy football to me is never going away, because people can't even think about the NFL season without having a fantasy team, or in my case, like 16, which is insane. But I mean, it's kind of what I have to do. A lot of people will focus on quarterbacks and if you're in a traditional league, you can wait. Now you have to know who's in your league. And sometimes the tendencies are not the same as the quote unquote experts or analysts. So leagues that I would be in, for example. But I was in a draft out in Vegas over the weekend for the FFWC, and Jalen Hurts was still on the board in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Now, Jalen Hurts is not going to be on the board in the 6th round in most home leagues. He will probably be a 4th round pick. 5th at worst, and I don't even think he'd be a 5th round pick. But that just goes to show you how things are different. But Josh Allen going in the 1st round, listen, he's awesome. Not a good idea. Jaden Daniels going in the 1st round, he's awesome. It's not a good idea. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Not a good idea. Why? Because you can get really good quarterbacks middle to late of your draft. Bo Nix, perfect example last year. Baker Mayfield, perfect example last year. I can go back probably 20 years and pick out at least 2 quarterbacks who got drafted outside of the top 100 who ended up being in the top 5 or the top 10 at the position during the regular season. Happens all the time. I mean, it happened with Patrick Mahomes. It happened with Lamar Jackson. It happens all the time. And so if you are grabbing that quarterback early, then you're losing your strength at running back and wide receiver, and those are the two positions that you need to really fill early. You really need to fill those positions. Running back got far fewer featured players. There's still a lot of guys with talent, which is part of the problem, because then you see backfill committees. And backfill committees are super confusing in a lot of leagues. I mean, look at now with Joe Mixon. Now he's going to be out the first 4 weeks at least. Who's the back there? Nick Chubb? He's 29 years old. He looked awful last season. He's coming off of an ACL the year before, a really gruesome knee injury. So they have Woody Marks. They have Damian Pierce. It's going to be a committee. So even though you can get a Nick Chubb in mid to late rounds, that's going to be a confusing scenario. So you want to make sure that you're getting your running backs early, right? You're going now. I typically go with a wide receiver in round 1, and then maybe even a wide receiver in round 2, and then round 3 I'll be kicking around, maybe a Kyron Williams, somebody like that, a James Cook, a Chase Brown, although Chase Brown's starting to move up, and a Marion Hampton. So for me, first 5 rounds, I want 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. I'm not taking a quarterback until probably the 8th or 9th round, unless somebody falls to me like Jalen Hurts in that round 6 draft I had. And then tight end, I'm looking for probably in round 6 or 7. And at that point, I know I'm not getting Brock Bowers. I know I'm not getting Trey McBride. I know I'm not getting George Kittle. I'm okay with that. But maybe I can get Sam Laporta. Maybe I can get TJ Hawkinson or Travis Kelce at a 6th round price tag. And I'm okay with that. And the other thing too is I understand that if you are a newbie, you may be like, I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate Jerry Jones, but I'm a Cowboys fan. And I might want to take CeeDee Lamb. Well, where it makes sense, take him, sure. But don't draft Javonte Williams in the 5th round, because that's not a good idea. So you can draft with your heart to a degree, but you have to draft with your head more often than not. I have a rookie-only draft. I'm not going to name who this person is because a lot of people out there will know him, and I don't want him to beat me up. But he's a dear friend of mine, and we are in a dynasty league, which is where you keep everyone, and you have a rookie-only draft every single year.
Okay.
My friend is a Giants fan. He loves the Giants. He had the first overall pick in the rookie-only draft, and guess who he drafted?
You tell me. I have no clue.
Nobody? No guesses at all? Jackson Dart. Now, Jackson Dart is a nice dynasty pick, but not over Ashton Genty, Marion Hampton, and Cam Ward in a Superflex league. Not a good decision. Okay, so you have to make sure, have fun with him. Sure, you want to have some of your favorite players from your favorite teams, but make sure that you're not reaching for players in order to achieve that.
So it sounds like you're absolutely drowning in Excel spreadsheets over the last 20 years for data, but how do you, without having to go back and create all these, how do you evaluate maybe some of those players? The Saquon conversation was fascinating to me, and having that historical data, but how do you weigh that, the risk reward for maybe some of those injury prone players that seem to not be able to finish the whole season?
Yeah, like Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly.
That seemed to be a setup for CMC. And McCaffrey has moved into the first round in redrafts, and I don't get it. I don't understand. The guy has missed, played in 7 or fewer games in 3 of the last 5 years. Last year he played 4 games and averaged 12 points a game. He's 29 years old. McCaffrey's awesome when he's right, but he's not right very often. I have told people that if Christian McCaffrey were healthy and didn't miss as much time as he has, he would be maybe the greatest running back in the history of fantasy football, or at least right there on the Mount Rushmore with LaDainian Tomlinson and Marshall Faulk. But he's always hurt. And the Niners' offense could be a mess this year. So you have to take a lot of things into consideration. Do you want to risk a first-round pick on a guy who's, again, missed most of 3 of the last 5 years, where the 49ers' offensive line maybe isn't as good as it used to be? Maybe their offense isn't as good as it used to be. Brandon Ayuk is not going to start the season healthy. They've got injuries. They've got Juwan Jennings, who is hurt or holding out or some combination of the two because he wants an extension. And do you want to wear McCaffrey out? Maybe that's why they traded for Brian Robinson. And maybe if you draft McCaffrey, I wouldn't take him until the 2nd round, but that's where he won't be, and so I don't want him. you have to draft Robinson as a handcuff just in case. And a handcuff, for those of you who don't know what that is basically drafting the immediate backup of an elite running back.
Right.
So, I mean, in Saquon's case, it's like, Will Shipley, who's not the sexiest name in the world, but for McCaffrey, it would be Robinson Jr. But, I mean, in round one, I don't want risk. Like, go ask the Carolina Panthers if they'd take back Jonathan Brooks in the second round from a couple of years ago. He came out of Texas, super talented, came off an ACL, and he hurt himself again. And who the hell knows when he's going to play? You think they don't regret that? So that's what I don't. McCaffrey may very well go out and have a really good year. And that's totally okay, but then I was wrong. I don't want to run the risk of him getting hurt again. And the trend has been that he's not durable and he's not going to play 17 games. And when I saw him last year, he didn't look great. And I know all the reports are, he looks great. Oh my God, he's healthy. Look at those biceps and all this kind of stuff. But okay, it's August. Well, let's get 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season and see how he's feeling. When the Niners have no other weapons really, except for him and George Kittle, and maybe Ricky Pearsall, who's a sleeper. But certainly, except for Kittle, nobody that's really proven. And let's see where he's at that point. So that's just me. I will take risks in fantasy more than maybe most people. Not in round one. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that in round one. I need a dude who I know is an alpha, who's a dog, who's going to be fire, as the kids say, and I'm not going to have to worry about him.
We're with Michael Fabiano, Sports Illustrated senior fantasy analyst. Just one more for you, Michael. Really appreciate this insight. You quickly mentioned, you said the word there, sleeper. Any sleepers, one or two guys that you think people should be targeting in their later rounds of their drafts?
So I mentioned Ricky Pearsall for the Niners. I like him. I also like Emeka Egbuka, who's like sort of becoming not a sleeper anymore because like everyone's drafting him so high because Chris Godwin is hurt, and now Julian McLaughlin is McMillan, is going to miss time with a neck injury. So, but he's still kind of in that sleeper department. Running backs, I mean, if you're talking like later on in your draft, like Trey Benson, Braylon Allen, guys like that who you could take flyers on. I mean, you could call Jalen Warren a sleeper in Pittsburgh because if Caleb Johnson can't pass protect, there's no way they're going to keep him on the field when their quarterback is, 100 years old. And you don't want him getting drilled when a running back misses an assignment in terms of blocking. I like Brenton Strange in Jacksonville as a sleeper. I think he could end up being a pretty good bargain. And at quarterback, I got to be honest with you, the way that quarterback is drafted these days, I don't even know that a quarterback sleeper exists. But I'll give you a player that you can get outside of the top 100 who could be well worth that draft spot, and that's Drake May. If you average out the rushing yards that he compiled in the games that he started last year and played the majority of the snaps, he would have projected to rush for over 600 yards. If you're a quarterback and you're rushing for over 600 yards, and maybe you throw in 4 rushing touchdowns there, you're going to be in the top 10, top 12. And he is probably good for 3,500 yards passing, maybe 18 touchdowns, maybe 8 picks ballpark, which those numbers aren't great. But when you add in those rushing totals, guess what? Justin Fields has been a top 10 quarterback, and that guy is not a good passer. So just take that and keep that in mind. And when you're looking for your number 2 quarterback later in the draft, take Drake May.
Michael Fabiano, you can follow him on Twitter at Michael_Fabiano, where he does great stuff at Sports Illustrated, as well as Locked On Dynasty and the Fantasy Football Forecast. Michael, really appreciate the time. Best of luck with the final week and a bit before the season begins.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. Good luck.
There's Michael Fabiano again, Sports Illustrated, senior fantasy analyst. Does a great insight there. If you wanted to get into a draft, you're set to go.
I guess. I like how how many sheets he's got. Like he's going back and just to know, I think, I guess it's not that, but you got to keep track of these things. Seeing how the numbers of running backs of years prior of about how many touches and how that correlates to off seasons. Like I'm fascinated with Saquon now.
Me too.
Because I'm like, he's going to be awesome this year.
Well, now
he's not touching him with a 10-foot draft stick.
If December comes and we all of a sudden see that he's not doing well, you and I are like, yeah, we knew about this on August 25th.
That's why I didn't take him.
Yeah. EST Afternoons, you should have been listening. We told you all about it. Don't need to mention Michael ever again for that. Just you and I, we'll start watching. Phillies will have a bad first week, and you and I will just be telling random people, Saquon's going to have a bad year.
Saquon's going to have a bad year.
This is
Over
why
400 touches.
This is why. Did you know the numbers? 90-point drop. Year to year. That's what happens.
Oh my God, that's great.
That was unbelievable insight. My draft goes on Sunday. My keepers are due in a couple of days here. We shall see how it goes. Dusty's going to be at the draft. He hasn't been at the draft in a long time. He usually drafts while calling Riders and Bombers.
Really?
He's in the middle of calling a CFL broadcast and he's drafting his team. It's something else. Once again, Michael Fabiano. We're late to break. We'll take a short time out. When we come back, we'll wrap up EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage. I am in for Hernan Salas. We'll get to a Coop Sports update first, though. This is Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. You're tuned into EST Afternoons. Here's Coop with your update.
According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Houston will not move Joe Mixon to the injured reserve prior to tomorrow's deadline, meaning he'll be out at least 4 games to start the season. Mixon continues to recover from an ankle injury. And around the league, Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero from NFL Network have both reported that Jacoby Myers of the Raiders has requested a trade. As from Washington, the Commanders locked up Terry McLaurin for 3 years at $96 million overall. He recorded 13 touchdowns for nearly 1,100 yards, suiting up in every game last season. Out east, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. makes his return for the Jays. He's missed the last 5 games due to hamstring tightness. They'll play the Twins for the first of 3 total games. Max Scherzer to the bump at 5:07. Other action sees Boston up against Baltimore to open the night at 4:35. After that, the Brewers battle the D-backs while the Rangers challenge the Angels. For the Argos, Shiloh Sanders has been added to their negotiation list. He was released by the Buccaneers yesterday. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Catch some double E football action this season. The Elks' next home game comes September 6th as they host the Stampeders. Tickets start at just $20. Get your tickets now at goelks.com. The final segment of today's edition of EST Afternoons brings us back after a brief break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
World-renowned top psychic medium and the star of Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser comes to River Cree Resort and Casino on September 12th and 13th for a couple of special live shows. Join Matt for 2 nights of healing, hope, and laughter. Matt has become a trusted figure for people seeking closure, guidance, and connection with their loved ones. Don't miss Matt Fraser live at River Cree Resort and Casino September 12th and 13th. Both shows are 18 plus. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
We return. Final segment of the day for EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernan Salas alongside Joaquin Gage and Zachary Kubish. Portions of this hour of EST Afternoons brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brew House. Epic food, killer drinks, a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get free nachos with our app. Book your party now. The Canadian Brew House, our house is your host. Tanis in the Nasty Chat says, keepers are due tonight, Maddie. Yeah, I'm going to call confusion there on this. We're all in the same, she's in the same fantasy football league as Dusty and I. It's easy. It's the Spite League.
Oh.
On my roster page, it says in 1 day, 7 hours and 12 minutes, keepers are due. But our commish did post something saying it's due midnight tonight. Well, it still says 1 day. So he has that wrong. He has it 1 day, 7 hours. What's Kixie doing here? I'm saying 1 day, 7 hours, 12 minutes, 10 seconds. Which one am I supposed to believe?
Are they in Australia right now? I don't know.
He's on Fort Sask.
Oh.
Last I checked it, they didn't have different time zone. Maybe I'm off. Maybe the time's a little bit different on that one. It doesn't matter. I know my keepers. It's good. I get the 4th overall pick in that one where there's not a lot. It starts with rookies. I get to see if there's any like keepers that come out. One team, I tried giving him an extra draft pick to give up. He's going to lose a couple players. I was trying to help him out by taking one of his players off his hand. He'll get an extra pick. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to get me 4 more. So I said, screw it. I'll leave it. And now I'll probably get one of his players in that 4th if I really wanted to. I don't want to anymore. But Lieutenant Eric hasn't got back to me in terms of a trade in the Dunya. Scott McCord hasn't texted me back at all. And Lucas is pondering a trade with me. So I'm looking to make some changes. My ultimate hope for my CFL draft, I needed to load up on picks because I will have the number 1 overall pick next year.
Oh.
Which is Nathan Rourke. That's what it will be. Yeah. But then I want to give up a bunch of picks to trade up for number 2 and go Nathan Rourke, Brady Oliveira, 1-2 stack.
That's
my hope.
Is Nathan Rourke's brother, this is his last year of college?
No, he's with the 49ers.
49ers?
He signed a deal. I think it's a 4-year deal. Riders have his rights. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have Taylor Elgersma's rights. He's with the Packers. Yeah. It looks like he probably is going to make the act. Their team there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Curtis Rourke's, and based on Elgersma where he is, it's going to be a few years till we see him, if at all, in the Canadian Football League.
Okay.
Which is great for them.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
U Sports season gets going this weekend.
Right.
Well, no. Canada West gets going this weekend. Ontario got going this past weekend.
Did they?
Which means, then...
You believe it's Labor Day already?
Well, isn't tomorrow orientation camp in Calgary? For the Olympics? Wasn't it 26th to 28th?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was 26th to 28th.
Yeah.
So we'll get daily reports for 3 days from Calgary.
How many? 42 guys down there?
That's something like that. No goalies outside of the 3 that they're probably going to bring, unless that surprised me still.
Really?
I'm surprised you didn't have like 4 or 5 goalies. What if an injury happens? What if one of those guys plays poorly over the next 4 months?
Who are you going to pick, Matty?
Logan Thompson? I just...
Yeah.
What if one injury happens? How are you going to, I don't know, the orientation camp doesn't lock you in, but I feel like why not just have 2 extra goalies there?
I'm surprised there's not 1 more. I don't know about 6 or whatever. Because you got... What are you going to get from a goaltender at that camp?
I don't know what happens at any end of these guys. I don't know if this camp matters at all.
You're not going to get anything.
Is John Cooper really going to be making any decisions from this?
If there's a short list of goaltenders that they're thinking of, they're waiting for the regular season. Logan Thompson's... you're not going to say, oh, Logan Thompson made that save and Aiden Hill didn't.
Are they doing that with any of the players, though? Or is this more just seeing how they get along? What would an honestly, for a team count, I know they do this, but what would this be for?
This is to replace some areas that they thought they were.
So is this do you think they're doing actual practice time?
They're just having practices and going through stuff, and probably implementing the system that they want to use. Okay,
so get it in their heads early.
Yeah, and there'll be constant contact throughout the season, right? But I think there's a few areas where. And depends on injuries. I mean, if you're probably smart, you're looking at it. Okay, this guy's 32 years old. By that time, this is when he goes on LTIR, whatever. You want to guard against those types of things. Stone, I'm thinking, I don't think his spot is. It's in pencil or erasable ink on the whiteboard. Right. There's a few Sharpied already, but I just think they're probably looking at other guys, line combinations, and see how it looks.
Well, it's also one like if you're John Cooper and the management team above John Cooper, Doug Armstrong is the main one.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you change actually from the Four Nations though? Like there'll be some, but I would say if I said it was like 90% Four Nations, that's probably a safe number.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you got to remember you're going to have I lost his name. Defenseman for the Jets.
Morrissey,
because he got injured, right? You don't have Pietrangelo,
but there's your one replacement.
There's your replacement.
Does Drew Doughty make it?
Tough for me to say he doesn't for some weird reason.
I think you need a little bit of that veteran experience.
I think you need Marchand and I think you need Doughty to have that levity. You saw it.
How many of these guys will have been at the Olympics in the past?
Quite a few.
No. The last Olympics was 14.
Oh, it's Crosby.
Crosby will have been there.
Marchand.
Was Marchand there in 14?
Yeah, Doughty.
Doughty would have been there. Was Brad Marchand?
No, maybe not.
Brad Marchand was not part of the Olympics.
He wasn't?
No, not quick look there for me.
Why do I think he was? I thought he was.
I think it might just be Crosby and Doughty.
Okay.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of something for that, of knowing what it is to go through. Like we always talk about the experience of being in a cup final, going through an NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
The Olympics is a different experience. It's dealing with the athletes' village. It's dealing with everything that's going on. It's also dealing with that. It's a short tournament.
Yeah.
I have no problem with making him my 8th defenseman in Drew Doughty.
Yeah.
And and honestly, if you have an injury and you need Drew Doughty to draw in and give you 15 minutes for a game, Drew Doughty can do that for you still.
I'll never doubt Drew Doughty's. For him to do what he did at the Four Nations, to not play the whole year, come in and look a little bit off, right? You could tell he hadn't played, but then his game just got like being surrounded by that level of player raised him to not to where he once was, but he was still holding on to the puck an extra second, hitting guys for break. It was just, he's amazing, man.
You don't want him to be your top pairing.
No.
Right? You don't even want him to be your second pairing. But as a backup, third pairing guy, I have a lot of time in the day for Drew Doughty.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You want a guy like that, too, if there's an injury, and we saw it happen, that does occur in game, where he can move up the lineup, right?
That's exactly it. So,
it's not like a lot of those other guys can't either, but
but it's like, honestly, let's say there's an argument, Evan Bouchard or Drew Doughty. I can see why, if that's a late pick, why Hockey Canada would say we want Drew Doughty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's the Butcher Bouchard through the first part of the season, maybe he edges Doughty out, but we haven't seen regular season Butcher ever.
And see how Zach Hyman or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, if they could find a way onto that roster.
I don't think.
Nuge doesn't have a shot for the most part. But it's nice that he's invited.
Yeah. Get a good skate in before camp.
That's why they don't need a captain skate.
Exactly.
I do not want to hear a captain skate.
I don't even want training camp. I just want them to start the regular season.
You know, let them sit out for the first week.
Jeez, 8.
In soccer at times, because they have these weird summers and the international breaks, they sometimes let the bigger stars come in later. Just start with all the young kids for a week and let the stars come in for week 2.
It was so dumb. I hated camp because you knew there's only 3, maybe 3 spots available. Like, look at the Edmonton Oilers roster.
It doesn't even matter about any of that.
No. Yeah, it does.
For like spots, it's not a lot.
When I went to Europe, it was way better because you didn't, and not that it, like my first Oilers camps, I think one year we had like 80 people in camp. Like it was a joke. But you don't need 40 guys in camp.
No, the stars don't need to play. Let the stars play the last 2 preseason games.
I don't need.
And then they could start the regular season.
There should be 2 preseason games and get after it.
Don't worry. It sounds like maybe as soon as next year. preseason might be shorter and we'll have longer regular season.
Awesome.
Dave Drabiuk, Alberta Basketball Executive Director. Thank you for the time. Michael Fabiano, Sports Illustrated Senior Fantasy Analyst. We also thank him for the time. There are 2 guests today. We thank you, our listener, very much for tuning in to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. News today, earlier, Nielsen Show starting September 9th, simulcasted on Cruise FM 95.7. So another way to listen to our morning show. Up next, it's the Reed Wilkins Show. Shay Milne, Tom Gazzola, and Justin Rankin of your Edmonton Elks, Kurt Hill of the Oil Kings. They will be on the show. Thank you to everyone. Coop, great job on the other side of the camera. On behalf of Coop, Joaquin Gage, and Matt Iwanyk, thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons. Reed Wilkins Show in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.